Okay, hello Devarshi, welcome to our channel and thank you so much for joining us and congratulations for such a great feat and you definitely deserve to be at NLS Bangalore, but that's not your first choice, is it so?
No, NLS Bangalore is my first choice, but second choice is NUJS.
Okay, okay, good, good, very good. So let's hope you get into Bangalore.
Hmm.
So we
We
thought
need to hope for that.
yes, yes, you have. I'm just joking. So it's very good. I'll also get you connected with some of the seniors here, which are there already from our place, and you can start talking about. Although they will provide you with they will help you with when you get into Bangalore, whatever is your rank holder student, like anyone who has got similar rank last year is going to connect with you. He's going to be that he or she is going to be your mentor for the 1 year. That is a tradition in Bangalore, which is there. So I hope you'll benefit out of it. So let us start with your preparation strategy. When did you
Okay.
decide? When did you decide that you want to appear for CLAT, and then when did you started seriously studying for it?
To be totally candid, I had known about the exam since July 2020. Actually, way before that as well. But I seriously started preparation in October. After the results came out and after one of my own friends did really well, I thought that if he could do that well, I can do like not equally well, but half of that. So I started preparation in October or November. Like you can say that.
Okay, very good. And then how did you approach all of the subject? Let's start with RC. What was your approach for the English section? Like, did you go through proper grammar as well? And what would you recommend students? Should they skip certain portions? Because this is the tendency you'll see on a lot of groups also. We keep on telling students do everything, right? We keep grammar classes also, vocab also, everything. But what happens is at the end of this day, there are a lot of students who keep on talking about, Acha, this to doesn't come and this to doesn't come. Why should we do that? So what do you? I really want to use this opportunity to tell those students also that whether they should skip something or not.
Actually, I'd say like if you have a strong base in English, you can maybe focus on other things pehle and not focus on grammar that much or vocab that much because grammar and vocab are not things that are under your control. Like you can do them, but vocab you don't know which word they're gonna give you. So, but if you have a strong English base, you can because I had an ICST background, so I had a decent enough English base, but I did that. I'm forgetting the name of the book. It's a very popular English vocab book. It, it,
English is
what,
easy.
no, not English is easy. That fat red book, small
It's
fat
okay.
red book.
It's okay. We'll
Ha,
add in the comment section there.
ha. I'm forgetting everything now after
It's
the
okay.
results.
Now it's okay
Ha,
to forget now. It's if you
ha.
remember till the final
And
date, that's good.
I did Renan Martin. I did Renan Martin, the book and the practice booklet, both of them. And even if it feels boring at times to do the grammar, we have done that as kids. Like you can say that I did that in class 9, 10, but it's because we don't remember everything. We don't remember what exactly like which conjunction where fits where. We don't remember how an adverb fits into place. So those things need to be done because grammar is something that if we get it right, we take it for granted. But if we don't get it right, it really hurts.
True, true. And with respect to RC, how did you practice? You worked on reading more and then starting with your practice, or from the very starting, you were focused on practicing more and more?
My focus from the very beginning was it was a two-prong approach. I read as well. I tried to read as much as I could, and I also did a lot of RCs.
Okay.
Initially, my focus was on doing 5 RCs a day at least.
Wow, very good.
मतलब, one exam type, one assignment types. So
Okay.
initially my focus was on that, and once I thought that I had a decent enough speed, I can focus on doing other things.
Right. Okay. Very good. So let's move on to the next subject. Before that, I'll suggest you keep your phone, on behind a book or something, so it doesn't move.
Okay, okay,
Put a
okay.
book behind it or something. You have a cool fan.
my laptop like kind of
It's
broke
okay.
during the
It's okay.
preparation, so I need to buy a new one. Before that, does
It's
this
okay.
work?
Yes, yes, this will work. And this will also tell people that you are Team Liverpool.
Yes.
Okay, good, good. Okay, so let us talk about the next thing, that is logical reasoning section. How did you approach your logical reasoning section? Because there is analytical reasoning as well, critical reasoning as well. How did you go about that?
Let me start with analytical reasoning. Analytical reasoning, I knew that I had a base in analytical reasoning because I had prepared for like NTSC for class 10. So I did RS Agarwal, like I did, but I didn't do everything. I knew that the most important things were puzzle test, then tumhara coding decoding, and what else? That what is the parents thing called
Yeah,
again?
what we'll do is
Blood relations. Yes,
blood
blood
relation.
relation.
Right.
I did those, and once I was done with those, I moved to CR. And honestly, ma'am, like even till the very day of the exam, CR was my weakest section.
Okay.
Although in the exam, touchwood, it really went well. But CR was my weakest section, so I focused on doing the concepts. I did MK Pandey, and I did it twice.
Right.
Because I didn't understand a lot of it the first time, I watched a lot of law prep tutorial videos. I watched a lot of GMAT videos, and I did a lot of passages, as many passages as I could find.
Wow, very good, very good. So, and with respect to next section is, because before I move on to the next section, what happens is a lot of students would really want to know that they feel that they are very weak in CR and they are really afraid of it. And sometimes that mental barrier comes in between before they are able to deal with the further questions. So how do you suggest them to keep going? How did you keep going in despite not getting right at times?
Honestly, like I'd suggest, even if you make the like if you consider, we have to analyze everything we do, like every mock we give, every assignment we do, we need to analyze that. Where did I go wrong? Why did I make that mistake? What was my thinking behind the specific choice? So I did that, and in CR, majority of my mistakes were very like something I'd call silly mistakes. Like I wouldn't want to make that, but I did make those mistakes.
True, true.
So like negating them is the key to getting the right answer. And I realized something as well, that we can't totally negate out silly mistakes. We are going to make at least one or two of them in the entire process. So that's the thing. Like, we will get bogged down when we're trying hard and not getting about 15 or 17 in CR. Because the thing is, with the negative marking, if you attempt all the 30 questions, but you get 10 of them wrong, you're automatically 10, 2.5 marks. So you're already getting 17.5. And a score of 17.5 doesn't look good. So it takes a bit of effort and a bit of time, especially if you're doing it on your own, because you don't know who to approach or what to even do now. But the thing is to be mindful about your own preparation. You need to analyze everything you do very much. Like
Acknowledging that, right? Acknowledging that you are doing something wrong, because most of the time, what happens is students, when they are solving those questions, they feel like, okay, it's wrong. Rather than acknowledging that it is wrong and what solution could be there, finding out, asking about it, or searching for it, that would rather help them solve the problem, rather than thinking, okay, I'm just weak and in this section forget about it. That won't do, right?
That will not do in any section, because one of the things I made a lot of mistakes in was inferences. Okay. I made a lot of mistakes in inference questions. Even in the CLAT, like actual exam, I think I got one inference question wrong. Like in the CR section, I got 3 questions wrong in total.
What was your score in CR?
My CR score was like 3 wrongs, 26.25.
Good, very good.
So I was like, why am I getting? Because I consider inference as the easiest thing to get right.
Basic thing.
It's the most basic thing. How am I getting these wrong?
Right.
And I was getting a lot of them wrong. I remember my lowest score in CR was 9 something at one point. And I started analyzing every single mistake. I was like, why did I go with this question? Why didn't I go with that option? Sorry, why did I go with this option?
Right. And why not with the other one?
Why not with the correct one?
Okay. Okay. Good. So let's talk about then the mathematics section or the QT quantitative technique section. Were you surprised by the sets?
I was, because I was expecting a lot more drawings and a lot less words.
True. That's true. But still, how did you go about it?
I did 2 sets. I did the savings one, which is apparently, which I didn't realize while doing that it's a controversial one. But now I'm realizing it's a very controversial set. And I did the other one. What was the other set? That population set.
Okay.
And I got one question wrong in that. It was a very stupid mistake. I just divided wrong 400 by 13. It would have come out around 31.5. My answer came out around 25.
So this should tell students that you remember your mistake related to CLAT also. So that means you must have remembered your mistake related to mocks as well, or the tests as well, or the questions you were practicing as well. Because that is very important to remember, to be able to improve for your next mock. Because you cannot be like, okay, bhul jaiye, whatever result was there, this time mock will improve my marks. This is the issue. We give a lot of mocks also. And problem, what happens is students are like, I've given this also and this mock also and this mock also. My marks are still not improving. So obviously the marks won't improve unless you remember what is the mistake you are making and you make sure that how do you work on that. So how did you prepare for your quantitative section?
Because I had a PCM,
yes, okay.
Because I had a PCM background, I didn't especially do anything different for quant. I was doing mocks, and towards the last 1 month, I was doing 1 mock per day, every day anyway. Or sometimes I didn't do because I felt lazy, but I was trying to do 1 mock per day. And the days when I wasn't doing, I was just doing 1 assignment so that I don't fall behind. So that's it. Like, I didn't do anything different for quant.
Right. Okay. So then legal section. Was it as per your expectations? And how did you go about it?
When I, honestly, ma'am, when I started reading the legal section, the first passage, mera first one, there was the compassionate thing. And okay. I read the first question and I don't understand what is written. I was like,
and they were this is over for me.
They were, but at the same time, like, they were easy, but lengthy. It was easy but lengthy. And the thing is, with most of the mocks, if law prep mocks as well, like they were lengthy enough to. And one thing I'd like to share, like I tried to, in doing the entire preparation time, I tried to read at least for an hour every day, an essay of 3,000 to 4,000 words. And when you have read an essay of, when you've concentrated on something which is 3,000 to 4,000 words long, you're not really daunted by a 300 to 400 word passage. Even if it's scary, but it's not daunting to you. It's not a daunting task. You can do it.
It doesn't mentally exhaust you just because it's scary. True.
So there was that. Legal, my approach in the exam was like, I got scared at first, but then once I started solving it, I got into my own, because I do legal sabse pehle. So once I started solving it, I got into my own, and yeah, my legal section was actually better than I expected it to be. Like I was expecting around 30 in legal.
And what did you get?
I think because scores changed legal, so I don't exactly remember. 33.75, I think.
That's a good score. That's a very good score. And now the most, section in which students try to eliminate the most thing. That is your general knowledge section. How did you prepare for the general knowledge section?
In GK, like if I told you CR was my weakest section, but GK was my second. I would have considered it my second weakest. But GK, I had a lot of backlogs even heading into June. So I pulled my socks up and I realized that I can't do everything anymore. So I made month specific. I still have those notes. I don't know. I have to look for them. I made month specific notes. I made notes for October, November, December, October to June. I staple them together. And because I don't believe in printing things out, I write them on my own. Make my own notes, and I staple those notes. And every month had around 50 to 75 topics.
Okay.
And I practiced those, and towards the end, I reduced them to like around 30 topics per month, which came out to be around 300 to 400 topics in total. But when I told people that my GK score was 20 plus, but I was weak in GK, they're like, "How? Like, what are you saying?" I'm like, And
true, because it was tricky for a lot of people.
It was a lot tricky.
It's okay. It's okay. That's why I kept it. That's why we have kept a pre-session in case something happens. We'll just edit it. Okay? Yes. Continue. So, what about your continue with your GK section?
So even GK, because I was not gonna do a lot of quant. The quant I was gonna attempt, my strategy at least was that I'll need at least 5 marks in quant, and if I get more than that, I'll be a bonus. I did get more than that, so I did get the bonus.
That compensated.
That got compensated, but GK, my aim was around 30. My aim was around 30. So I prepared in the last few days, at least I gave a lot of focus on GK. I stopped doing mocks. I did 1 mock every 2-3 days in the last week, but I did a lot of GK. And thank God I did Ramzar sites in the last moment because I didn't think it will come, but then I did it and it came. So yeah, the questions that came, some of the questions, like one of the questions I got wrong was the health minister question, which I thought might get replaced, but it didn't. Because of the change, like, I didn't even consider it was the passage was from March.
True.
So, but those are the mistakes. Like I'm okay. I can live with that.
But all is well if it ends well, right?
Well. Yeah.
So that's overall strategy with respect to CLAT preparation. I hope students benefit out of it, use it, and learn the moral of the story that you have to work hard at the end of the day, right? You have to really sit down and study if you're serious about it. Not necessarily always a teacher has to be there at the back of your, at your back telling you do this, do that. If you're determined and you sit down and study, 101% you can do far, far better. So at last, I need to ask you about how did law prep, mocks, and the videos or classes help you?
Yeah, before that, I'd like to add one more thing. Yes. Like, hard work is obviously, it's the bare minimum, but also knowing how to go for an exam, how to approach what the examiner wants from you. The examiner doesn't want you to know the entire IPC or the entire constitution. The examiner wants to see that you can read 250 passages in a pressurized environment very quickly, in a minute or two, and gather something from it. So that's the key. That's what the examiner wants from you.
Right. And so practice more of that.
Practice more reading, and I honestly, like, this is one thing now. I'm looking back and thinking not a lot of people did it. I timed myself while I did anything. I timed myself while I read a newspaper. I timed myself while reading any essay. I timed myself while solving any assignment, even a passage, even a simple passage. I'll time myself. How many minutes I'm consuming. Because if you're, let's say, in a legal section at home, you're consuming around 35 minutes. That is easily going to get bumped up to 40 to 42 minutes in the actual exam. Because you'll go back, you'll consider options, and also we have to develop a strategy early on of what order we are going to take. For someone, it might be, for me, it was legal, then GK, then English, then CR, and then quant. Yeah, that's right. But for someone, it might be something else. It's not a one size fits all thing.
Right, right. That's true. And it depends upon what is your strong point also, because someone weak in maths would require, QT would require more time for the same. And someone strong in CR might require less time for the same. So it depends, right? Someone strong in maths would require less time for the same, right? It depends from section to section. Correct. That's correct. I agree with it. Anything, any other tip you want to give to the people who are preparing for CLAT next year, and how to keep up the pace for like 5, 6, 7, 8 months they are into the preparation? Because sometimes you feel like it's too much, right? Whether you'll be able to. So you were always sure you'll get into Bangalore?
No, I was sure that I'll get, like, I had a feeling that I'll definitely get NUJS.
Right.
But even that, I was scared. Like, I had a dream on the day of the exam. I had a dream, what if I get a rank 50,000 after giving the exam and after having a good exam? I still had that dream. So I was never sure about anything. But I knew that if I had a good exam, it'll be pretty much guaranteed that I'll at least get a top 5 NLU.
Good, good, good. Very good. So yes, now with respect to the content provided by the law prep, as well as finally for the students, right? What they should keep in mind when they are preparing?
Firstly, a lot of people tend to, like, if you're preparing on your own, a lot of people tend to isolate themselves from the entire world. That we just want to lock ourselves in this one room and prepare. And honestly, not only class, no UG level entrance exam requires that. Even probably UPSC. I don't know. I have never prepared for UPSC, but
it's a kind of CLAT preparation is a kind of mini UPSC, the kind of GK you have.
Yes, I told my friends that we can at least sit for the CSAT of UPSC and get at least 1 mark. But honestly, you have to stay connected to the world, what's going on around you. Not just that, but stay connected to, if you're doing it on your own, completely on your own, no coaching, nothing, then it's very easy to get derailed. So I'd say, nobody emphasizes on this, but I'd say make friends in the coaching process and have a healthy competition, obviously, but also learn from them. Like I had this one friend without her help, I wouldn't have gotten anything in current affairs probably. So
good.
It's very, like, a community is very important.
True, to help you out with respect to the problems if you're facing, right?
And not just you can help them out, they can help you out, and not just that, you can stay in that environment. Everybody's doing the same thing.
Right.
Because if
right
you're on
set
your
of
own,
people who are positively motivating each other to succeed with respect to the final result. Correct.
Yeah, because it's very easy to get derailed. Personally, I got, when the second wave started, and when originally CLAT was supposed to happen on May 13th, I think, I don't remember. Yeah. May, and when the second wave like really got going and lockdown started, I got so demotivated. I didn't study for 2 to 3 weeks. And when I tell people this now, they don't believe me. It was 100% true. Like I stopped talking to, because I stopped talking to other people about what was going on. I got really demotivated. And then I got back into the preparation. And I remember the first mock I gave after coming back, I got 74, and I was like so disheartened because the previous mock I gave was 83. So I got very disheartened, but then I started doing it slowly and things worked out in the end. Yeah, things.
Right. Very good. So did you benefit with respect to our mocks as well as our videos?
Yes, definitely. I told you about the tone thing already, but also when I started my preparation, a lot of the CR thing I watched was from law prep tutorial, and mocks. I enrolled for the mocks. I didn't enroll for a lot of like coaching the mocks. I enrolled for law prep, and like they really helped me a lot.
Right. We intentionally made sure that you were given long passages because that is one of the key feature which is required when you appear for mocks and everything. So nice talking to you, Devarshi. Lot of congratulations to you and best of luck for your future. And anyways, it is good. Like you are there good. And there also, I'll suggest you that you keep up with your hard work because that is something very important. Even you get into Bangalore, they want students to really work hard and, achieve with respect to whatever they are asking them to do. Right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us on such a short notice. I hope more students would be inspired with your journey to make sure that, and to believe that if they really work hard and they have this faith with respect to their own preparation, 101% they'll get.
Thank you, Mom.